I'm Shane Kelbell, President of Credit Solution Group, and this is your credit score revealed. Your credit score is a number used to determine the likeliness of you paying late in the next 90 days by 24 months or more. Your credit score is also used to determine if you will be granted credit and the conditions at which the credit would be granted to you. Your credit score can even impact where you live and often where you work. Employers will use your credit score as a depiction of character reference for you. So obviously in this job market, in these economical times, you want to make sure that your credit score is as high as possible. Now we're going to get into the factors of your credit score. First is going to be 35% is payment history, and payment history is the terms at which you are paying back your loans, whether that be mortgage, auto loans, installment loans, or revolving or credit cards. The more recent a late payment, the more impact it's going to have on your credit score. The further out late that you become, the more impact it's going to have on your credit score. Meaning if you have a 90-day late payment, that's going to hurt your credit score more than a 30-day late payment. And then next you're going to have 30% as amounts owed. Now you're going to have a higher balance and it's going to stay higher, typically on like a mortgage. You take out a $300,000 mortgage, you're not going to make payments and pay it down to $200,000 or $150,000 in a couple of years, because typically they're 30-year loans. But with credit cards, if you're granted a $10,000 credit limit, you want to try to keep that at 10% or under that balance of that credit limit at all times. You know, there are different thresholds. The ones to keep in your head is 10, 30, and 50%. You know, ideally is keep it under 10%, then to 30%, and then to 50%. The next is going to be the age of your credit history, and that's the length of the credit history. A lot of people will take their credit cards and actually close them because they think that that helps their credit score, because that's showing that they're being disciplined in closing it. Actually, the FICO scoring model wants you to keep that card open, and you also want to keep it active. Active is going to be using your card once every 6 months. You'll read on the internet a lot. I always tell my clients to use it once every 4 months. You know, you don't need to buy any major purchases. You can simply get something to drink at the gas station or fill your tank up, and then pay that off so you're not paying a lot of interest on it. And then the next thing is going to be the inquiries, which is people will pull your credit, or lenders will pull your credit to see if you will be granted the financing. And there's two types of inquiries. You can pull your credit as many times as you wanted yourself. You know, the only place to get a credit score is going to be myfico.com. Everything else is essentially worthless, because lenders only use the FICO scoring model to determine if you will be granted credit. So there's hard inquiries, which is when a lender or somebody looking to grant you credit pulls it. And then there's also a soft inquiry, which has no impact on your credit score, and that is when you look at it and pull it yourself. The next thing is going to be the types of credit. And there's going to be a perfect mix of credit would be a mortgage, an auto loan or installment loan, and then 3 to 5 revolving accounts or 3 to 5 credit cards. And again, you want to make sure you keep those active. And then from there, there's a couple things. I mean, these are things you can pretty much find on the MyFICO website, but there's some things that you're not going to find on the MyFICO website. Number one, there's 2 different scoring models. The mortgage industry is still using the FICO Classic, which has 10 scorecards. And then the next generation FICO 08 has 16 scorecards. The reason that the new one has more scorecards is to have a better depiction of the likeliness of you paying late or defaulting on a loan. So with the FICO Classic model, you know, that's a indirect pull. So those are always 3. You're going to pull 3 credit reports for a mortgage. They always pull a tri-merge, use the middle score. Auto loans typically are direct pulls, so pulled right from the actual credit bureaus, so they may be using the new scoring model. And these scorecards are going to be things like major delinquencies, minor delinquencies, you know, a minimal credit file portfolio, and then even things like a bankruptcy scorecard. On a bankruptcy scorecard, you're not going to have, you know, it's going to go from like 336 to 850 or 300 to 836. You know, it's not going to be able to get all the way up to that 850 perfect credit score. And then the next thing is that the 3 FICO scores that they use, you as a consumer only have access to 2 of them. That's TransUnion and Equifax, because Experian is actually in litigation with FICO because they were trying to eliminate that FICO score using the Vantage model all 3 credit bureaus have, and then also the Plus Score model. So this right here is your credit score revealed. I'm Shane Kelbell, President of Credit Solution Group.